So Amazon is creating its own Stadia service that is going to be announced in year 2020. The same way that the movie industry and every studio and network is creating their own streaming, the game industry, respectively, are going into this very hard fast. Google Stadia has the balls to kind of stumble out of the gate and test the service, and maybe if they have the patience, they can wheel it out and provide something that is viable for customers out there. In the meantime, the excitement around streaming games is still there. Customers still would want a great example of how to do it correct. And Amazon is no different. They are not a stranger in games. They do own Twitch and a few game studios. It is sometimes forgettable that they actually make games, but they do have one out right now, Grand Tour. They are working on a Lord of the Rings RPG, a couple open world games called New World and Crucible, but so far they don't have a good track record of delivering games, because making games is hard, as we all. It's been a good 5 years since we really heard anything substantial. Breakaway was canceled immediately upon release, and rumors has it that these Amazon game studios have been struggling the same way that I foresee Google struggling to make their first party games. But again, these megalith companies have the patience to kind of see things out. And let's not forget about how the OGs, the Xbox and Sony camp, have their own streaming services as well. Microsoft had announced their xCloud, and Sony acquired Gaikai a few years ago that they're already starting to roll out. Both of these consoles, Xbox and Sony, have somewhat of a streaming gaming feature on their existing consoles. Something that I've been experimenting with as a consumer has been the Steam Remote. This works a little bit to our understanding, and like I've been having really a good time connecting towards my Steam library with a PS4 controller and my phone, and it has been working flawlessly. It's basically screen shares my computer that is running my Steam game at the same time, and I'm able to kind of sit on my couch and play as well. And this has worked very nicely without any hiccups or unexpectations. This too has worked well with the Sony Xbox console. So all these excitement around the Silicon Valley companies kind of digging in and getting into this space, I think in the end of it, the consoles are the ones that are going to coming on top, because they know our audience, they know the gamers' expectations and quality, and know how to market games because they've been doing it for a long time. What you see with the Silicon Valley companies are kind of like a hipster foray into the business, and it's been turning a lot of people off with their marketing. I just go back to the Stadia launch video marketing as a way where an infinite amount of money and budget was available, and that was the best. So get ready for a dizzying amount of cloud services from pretty much everyone and everything. Game industry have been exploding in terms of popularity and interest, and everybody wants a piece of it. Netflix has paved the way for many companies in all entertainment to show how profitable a monthly subscription to everyone in the world could look like. And gaming requires a lot of time to continue streaming, which opens a lot of potential for advertising, which these services love to do. The problem with these bigger companies will be unlimited resources, and which could be also an advantage to these console makers. Although they have lots of money behind them, they are more inclined to succeed in less tries. So it's interesting to see how this all plays out, from the veterans to the newcomers with a lot of money, and seeing if experience really does win at the end of the day. So let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments section below. Do you really think that the Silicon Valley companies will beat out the console makers? Do you think streaming at all would be at all viable if the technology plays out as it is being marketed?